Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. The 11th of November is a very special date for the English and French community, but in general for everyone since the armies of the First World War was signed that day. Benalmádena had a small commemorative ad with the presence of the Mayor Víctor Navas.
La Paloma Park was the scenario last week of a solemn ceremony on occasion of Remembrance Day, a date that serves to commemorate the day on which the World War ended with the signing of the German armistice. A small representation of the English, French and Irish communities of our municipality has been present there, and Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas, also Councillor for Foreign Residents, has valued the importance of commemorating this day.
Una guerra no deja de ser un fracaso cuando la política y el diálogo.
A war is the failure of politics, dialogue and communication. The society that lived through the First World War went through many hardships and difficulties, precisely in the current context, with the world shaken by a pandemic and a serious economic and social crisis. It is appropriate to recall the example of a generation that demonstrated how to rise again after a devastating conflict, thanks to the desire to overcome and build a better society, has prevailed throughout the centuries, and that we are going to overcome this pandemic together. Representing the Welsh Association was Gary Benham, a well-known face of Benalmádena's foreign community.
Today is the 11th of November, a day marked by the end of the First World War. It is to commemorate and remember all those that fell in armed conflict and all those that suffered as well in conflict ever since the First World War. Obviously the 11th of November being the Armistice Day, and a commemoration that should be remembered by all different nationalities, because it does mark an open wound in the cultures, both Germany, Great Britain and France, and all around the world. So it should be a minute of remembrance a year is not much to ask for.
Benham did not want to miss the opportunity to thank Navas for his presence.
I mean, first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to the Mayor Víctor Navas and also the Foreign Residence Department of Benalmádena, who has been doing a great job in the last few years of this act of remembrance. And it's nice to see as well the international attitude of Benalmádena represented here in a day like today. So I can't praise the Town Hall and Benalmádena enough for it, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Neil Toplis, president of the Royal British Legion in southern Spain, was also present and told us what they associate to this day.
There's a lot of things that we associate the 11th of November with. Obviously it's Armistice Day. It's hard to forget that the last person to die in the Second World War died at 11:45 in France on Armistice Day. So people died to the very last moment. But also for the British Legion, it's for everyone that's died in conflict. So England, for example, Great Britain has always been in conflict. In the last 100 years, only 3 years without conflict. So we remember on days like this with the poppy exactly who passed away and exactly who suffered and the wounded. So we have 2 minutes of silence. The first minute is for the dead, and the second minute is for those who are wounded, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it may be. So it's very much about remembering those people that gave their lives to put us in the position we are in today, so we can live like we are today.
Toplis also explained to us the history behind the red poppy.
The poppy originally was developed as an idea from a poem called Flanders Fields. It was then adapted onwards. So in 1921, a lady took, along with General Haig, took the idea and developed the poppy. The first poppies were made in silk by the French widows in France and then sold in the UK. And they were called Haig poppies. And then from there, the idea developed. So this poppy now, as it is today, really has only been in this style since 1987. But it's a national symbol. Everyone recognises the amapola, the poppy. Yeah. So it's something the British Legion use. The first poppies, the first ones that were sold, they made 25 million of them in silk. in these devastated towns in France. And so respect to the people that did it and respect to the people that carry it on.
Representing the French community was Prisca Vanier from the Union of the French Abroad, who explained to us that her country was the first to establish this commemorative day.
Fuimos el primer país que lo instauró en...
We were the first country to establish in 1919 on the same date, November 11 at 11, and unfortunately coincide with the first pandemic, the so-called Spanish flu. That is one of the things that I'm going to say because in it my grandmother passed away. In addition, Barnier wanted to highlight the multicultural character of this municipality.
En Francia,
in France, when the armistice was signed, all the survivors said that it would be the last of the wars. And unfortunately, we had the Second World War. That is why it is very important for people to remember that there should be no more. And in an act of this type, the sound of the bagpipes could not be missed. Leslie Thompson, mayor pipe at the Surpipes Band, explained to us why this instrument is characteristic at this type of events.
I'm the sort of pipe major of a small band here. It's called the Surpipes Band. We have members from not only from Benalmádena but from all Andalusia, and we try and participate in these events like Remembrance Day, particularly because the Scottish or the Great Highland Bagpipe is probably the instrument that's most related to military activities and unfortunately to war in itself, and it has always participated either being present during the battle, encouraging people during a break, giving them some entertainment, but probably even more poignant when after the battle we say goodbye to the ones who have given their life in our defense.
Thompson highlighted that it is important to pay tribute to the fallen and celebrated the melting pot of cultures that coexist in Benalmádena.
As you said a moment ago in Spanish, a crisol, which would be a melting pot, right? This is a melting pot of cultures. But what I believe is that it's not only representative of the different nationalities, but how we move. In other words, in my particular case, I was born in Argentina, but my family were from Scotland, and I've come here to Spain with my family, which has also Spanish roots. So it's not only from other regions of the world, but how we move from one place to the other. And I believe that, nationalities are a construct which don't separate us. They actually bring us together, because I always believe that my border with my neighbor is actually where I'm joined with him. That's where I'm connected to my neighbor.
Terry McKinley, representative of the Irish Association, also present and highlight the importance of remembering our history.
The government team had a new meeting with ADIF to claim a nearby stop in Nueva Torrequebrada, an important infrastructure for Benalmádena that would reduce the number of vehicles on its road.
Benalmádena's mayor, Víctor Navas, and Roads and Works Councilman Joaquín Villazón held a meeting with representatives of ADIF last week to once again defend an old claim of Nueva Torrequebrada's residents, the creation of a stop on the Málaga-Fuengirola Cercanías line in this area.
Ya sabéis que seguimos trabajando.
The construction of a new Cercanías stop in the area of Nueva Torrequebrada has always been a political commitment for this government team, on which we have been working for some time. The mayor recalled that at the beginning of 2019, they held a meeting with ADIF in which a study was carried out. On last week's meeting, carried out through video conference, ADIF presented this study, which extrapolates the data in which it was determined that the construction of a new Cercanías station in Nueva Torrequebrada would mean increasing the number of passengers that use the line in that environment by 75%.
Hoy en una reunión que hemos tenido a través de videoconferencia.
In today's meeting held via video conference, they present us with this study which shows that around 13,000 trips are registered daily in the Nueva Torrequebrada area, which would mean increasing the number of passengers that use the line in that environment by 75%. The creation of this infrastructure is very important for Benalmádena, reducing the number of vehicles that circulate on the road network, moving towards a more sustainable city and bringing public transport closer to the residents of this environment. But for ADIF, the increase in passengers would not be enough.
Para ADIF,
For ADIF, taking into account the scope of this entire line that connects Málaga with Fuengirola, the increase in passengers that the study collects could not be enough, since it understands that it does not compensate for the cost in sustainability services and time, since a new stop would mean delays in the current schedule. In the coming weeks, we will also make the ADIF study available to neighbors and the rest of the political forces so that together we can assess what is the next step that the City Council should take. Over the next few months, they will hold a meeting with representatives of the Transport, Mobility and Urban Agenda Ministry to contrast ADIF mobility plan with another that the City Council will carry out to argue and defend the importance of this infrastructure.
Last week, Benalmádena's local police force carried out 2 successful drug seizure operations in the municipality. Security Councilman Javier Marín praised their actions, highlighting the collaboration between security forces. Security Councilman Javier Marín reported last week on 2 operations carried out by local police agents on the night of Monday, November 9, and the morning of Tuesday, November 10, that resulted in important drug seizures.
En las últimas horas,
The local police force has carried out several interventions related to drug seizure. One of them, the most striking one, happened at around 7 o'clock of Tuesday morning. A call was received of a fire in the municipality, and the local police was required by the Fire Intervention Service to help with the extinction. When they went in to assess whether there were people inside the house, they found more than 600 plants of marijuana. The electrical installation was punctuated to the transformer, which could have caused the accident. After proceeding to the inspection of the property, they found marijuana plantation. Carrying out a search in the area of the presumed residents, they proceed to inspect the rest of the property, finding 3 other rooms on the second floor with plantations. There were approximately 600 plants with an average height of around 2 meters. The other performance took place on Monday, November 9. When a passerby told patrolling agents that people tried to swindle him into buying marijuana at a nearby location. After approaching the premises, they observed that 5 persons ran from the interior fleeing. The agents prioritized the inspection of the premises and found various containers with different varieties of marijuana, adding up to a total of just over a kilo. In addition, they also seized 162 grams of hashish, 72 marijuana cigarettes, 275 euros, precision scales, and a notebook in which apparently the partners' sales and money that were delivered inside the premises were detailed. The agents proceed to identify the 4 persons who remained inside, who assured that the owner was one of the individuals who had fled. After the identification, the agents seized the substances, reporting the facts to the National Police, so that they could continue with the investigation. Marín praised the agent's performance.
desde aquí lo único que le quiero decir a toda la población.
I want to send a message of tranquility to the population. We have a police who not only is close to our citizens, but who is also alert and paying attention to any circumstances that occur in our municipality. We don't want this to happen, but it does, and that's why the local police, within their competences, contributes in any capacity they can. We are also aware that the National Police Force is developing lines of investigation that also yield fruit, as we saw a few weeks ago with a ketamine intervention in another point of the municipality. This force is always keeping Benalmádena safe and secure. I just want to end by thanking all the agents for their daily effort, always going the extra mile to give a quality public service. Black Friday is already here, and Benalmádena's Entrepreneurs and Merchant Association has prepared a campaign to promote local shopping. Rosa González presented it to us, highlighting the importance of buying locally.
ACEP's president, Rosa María González, visited our new facilities last week to present the new campaign launched to promote purchases at local stores on the Christmas period. From the 23rd to the 29th of November, all interested businesses can join the well-known Black Friday, a period of offers before the Christmas campaign that, in the times we are living, is an incentive for both small businesses and the residents of the municipality. This campaign also comes with a virtual support, since all interested parties can publish their offers on the Benalmercado website.
We are now right deep into the campaign of Black Friday. Black Friday will be from the 23rd to the 29th of this month. You know, November, everywhere in the whole world, we got the Black Friday. Many of our shops are going to have their offer for that week. And this year, we want to include the hotels. Those hotels, it will have a special price if you book on Friday, on Black Friday, on that week. So it's a really good thing if you can get the advantage to book on those days.
As the president explained, all types of businesses can participate by offering different discounts. Balloons will indicate the business attached to the campaign, as well as promotion on the Benalmercado website. González wanted to emphasize the importance of all benalmadenses doing their Christmas shopping on the municipality.
And we would like to add every single one, every shop that they can offer their product on that Black Friday. That way you can advance your Christmas shopping. So we don't know what's going to happen on Christmas, but that way you will have in the best price, you will have your Christmas shopping. And just encourage everyone to do the shopping through benalmercado.com. And there you can see all the offers and all the shops that are giving the Black Friday discounts.
After the confinement experienced during the first wave of the pandemic, and with a possible second confinement upon us, institutions must adapt to new technologies, and Arroyo del Amiel Library presented its new YouTube channel.
Arroyo del Amiel Library is now closer to its users thanks to the creation of a new YouTube channel, just another example of the good work being done by the institution when creating new channels of communication with its users, always keeping in mind the new technologies and the power of the World Wide Web. Culture Area Coordinator Pablo Centella presented the initiative accompanied by Maite Ortigosa and José Ramón Martínez, technicians of the Arroyo del Amiel Library, and highlight that this library is undoubtedly one of the cultural engines of the municipality. We never get tired of repeating that Benalmádena's public libraries are the engine that moves the cultural activity, aimed mainly at promoting reading habits. Arroyo del Amiel Library has been present on social media for a long time, and now was the time to go one step further and use a YouTube channel to continue being that cultural engine, also telematically, and develop reading habits, one of the bases of Benalmádena's cultural policy. And this space not only has an agenda full of interesting workshops and events, it is also always looking for new ways to reach more users or to facilitate access to its catalog, and a good use of new technologies is vital for them. Ortigosa stressed that this initiative is just one more step in the technological adaptation of the space. If this confinement has proven something, it is the need to offer virtual services to citizens. Although we are already present on social networks with profiles on Facebook and Twitter, as well as a blog with more than 3,000 followers and good acceptance, it was also necessary to have a YouTube channel. We have already opened it, and from today we will be uploading content. For his part, Martinez spoke on the comment that the channel is going to collect, which has already been inaugurated with a video that was created to celebrate the library's 30th anniversary and that reviews its history. This first video that we have uploaded to the channel was made a few years ago for the library's 30th anniversary, where the history of this space is summarized. From now on, we will upload videos of some workshops that we have been doing online of the figure of Rodari, of which we celebrate the centenary of his birth this year. And we will also do live broadcast through the channel and upload any activity that can be carried out.
And these are today's headlines. Benalmádena commemorates Remembrance Day. New meeting with ADIF on the Nueva Torrequebrada halt. More than 600 marijuana plants seized on Benalmádena. ADIF launched the Black Friday campaign. Arroyo del Amiel Library presents its new YouTube channel. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy skies with a probability of weak scattered and occasional rainfall, more likely on the western coast and in the early hours, opening some clearings during the central hours of the day. Morning mist, minimum temperatures unchanged, highs in descent, winds from the east or southeast increasing, occasionally strong in high areas and the extreme west. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profiles on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.